Al-Hut joins us now from occupied East Jerusalem. Hamda, this army claim we were hearing there from Hagari of 2,000 Hamas deaths. Talk us through the figures. What do we know?
Israeli Army spokesperson Daniel Hagari is claiming that since December 1st, that's the end of the ceasefire period several weeks ago that lasted just 7 days, he says that the army killed 2,000 Hamas fighters since then, 21 days ago, making the total of Hamas fighters killed 8,000. But the Gaza Health Ministry has released numbers. 20,000 Palestinians have been killed in Israeli aggression since the war began. 8,000 of those are children and 6,200 are women. And of the remaining 5,800, we do know that there are unarmed civilian men as part of that number. So the Israeli army is giving figures, but they didn't give any proof, fact-checking, or verification behind those numbers. This is just another thing the Israeli army tries to do. It has continuously denied that the death toll in Gaza is this high, and they are always disputing the numbers coming out of Gaza's health ministry. But also remember, Gaza is one of the most densely populated areas in the world. And in all of these Israeli strikes and aggressions via land, air, and sea, there have been civilian deaths because of how densely populated it is. And these strikes are not so exact. In fact, there's been pressure on Israel to transition to a less intensity type of fighting, to a more targeted approach, given how many civilians have been killed. So the Israeli army releasing these numbers, but not releasing any information to back them up.
And Hamda, as I understand, this all comes as the Israeli military has said that they've destroyed this intricate network of tunnels. Talk us through any details that they've given.
The Israeli army says that they uncovered a significant and extensive network of tunnels in northern Gaza underneath Palestine Square. They showed video of themselves blowing it up from an aerial view, but they also said that this network of tunnels was from houses, hideout apartments, and other places used by top Hamas officials, including the military wing commander Mohammed al-Dif and Hamas head Yahya Sinwar. The Israeli army additionally said that in these tunnels were operational facilities and other bases used by Hamas, but did not provide any proof or photos of what they found inside of those tunnels. Now, Hamas's military wing spokesperson Abu Ubaida responding to this, saying that the Israeli army is trying to show any sort of achievement, rather showcasing it in the form of explosions for tunnels that weren't even operational or used by Hamas. All of this comes as the Israeli military says they have achieved full operational control in the neighborhood of Shija'iyya, and that they've expanded their ground operation into central parts of Gaza, because they say they want operational control in between the refugee camps in the central part of the territory and Gaza City. And we also do know that the rockets that were fired on places like Tel Aviv earlier on Thursday came from central and northern Gaza. So while the Israeli military is trying to continuously make advances, they say, the reality on the ground shows a much different picture, and that the Hamas is still firing rockets from these areas that the Israeli military says they are in control of.
Hamda Al-Hut there with all the latest for us from occupied East Jerusalem. Thank you, Hamda.